All right, it's week 2 of the Prep Sports Report. Tonight we get you rolling with some more boys and girls high school basketball, and we'll visit with one of the top wrestlers in the state of Indiana.
He might be one of the best athletes in Northwest Indiana. I mean, debatably, you can make an argument that this kid is number 1, especially after last season.
And a great interview.
Yeah, made me look good. Trust me.
Tough to do.
No, it isn't.
All right, we'll have that coming up next on the Prep Sports Report.
Program support comes from NIPSCO.
Honey, who is this guy?
Oh, that's Frank. Hey, Frank.
Honey, why is Frank in our bedroom?
He's showing us ways to save money. Plus, he'll even help us install LED bulbs and new shower heads.
Oh, well, he is leaving before I shower, though, right?
To schedule an energy assessment and learn more about energy usage, visit nipsco.com.
Frank, could you hand me a towel?
All righty, it is week 2 of the Prep Sports Report. We're getting ready to get it rolling. Wayne still, of course, on the DL for a few more weeks, and the basketball schedules have been on the DL thanks to the weather.
Yeah. I have not seen so many postponements. And by the way, get well soon, Wayne. We miss you here, okay?
Yeah, you know, it's difficult to see. It's difficult to keep track of when the games are and what they got switched to and moved to.
You know the letters that you see more in the newspaper?
PPD?
PPD.
Yeah. PPD.
Postponed.
When
Exactly.
is it going to... One of the games that made it, though, on the schedule was the Lake Central girls taking on Portage. LC tied for the lead in the Dueling Conference in girls basketball. And let's check out some of the highlights, Wayne. Lake Central
Wayne.
with Wayne, sorry. Tommy. T-Dub. And I didn't do that at all last week?
No. After how many years, I don't blame you. Go ahead. You're okay.
I'm more surprised. Here's a steal by they got like Portage wearing the black unis at home. I dig that.
They do that a lot in the NBA these days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Although Lake Central scoring there inside, of course, LC beat Marquette earlier this year. Have been playing some great defense, tied for the lead with LaPorte in the DAC, and a low-scoring game, Tommy, but Lake Central getting it done on the girls' side.
Well, that Dueling Conference is pretty tough. I mean, Chesterton, you would think, would be number 1 in that conference because of the great season they've had. But you're taking a look at 2 teams that are getting it done. LaPorte, and we'll hear from one of their players coming up later on. But LaPorte hanging in there.
Yeah, the LC LaPorte matchup is tied for the lead, and Chesterton with only 2 losses, but both of those in conference, so they're not even in the top spot. They're actually in 3rd.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a good basketball team, and it shows how good these 2 teams you're watching right
Good
watching
pressure,
right now.
good steal by Portage, and a nice layup there. Mark Bruner's team near the 500 mark. Played very competitive on this night. But Lake Central just been a well-oiled machine. There's a nice move. Put it on the floor. Is that, I don't know if that's Lauren Ledowski or not, but that was an outstanding move behind the back dribble. Oh, and there's the backdoor action off the baseline for 2 for Portage. Lake Central taking on Valpo tomorrow night. That's not an easy game. LC trying to maintain the lead in the DAC, and Mishawaka at Portage.
And Lake Central picked up a very impressive win against Gary Westside not too long ago.
Yeah.
They're in Wayne's top 10. We won't tell you. That's a tease. But Westside, a good basketball team. And Lake Central beat them pretty badly.
Yeah. Now let's go to the boys' side, because I don't really understand quite what's going on. Chesterton beat Maryville, Maryville beat Chesterton by 20.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
And then Maryville took on Crown Point and Munster last weekend, and were playing for their lives. When you thought it looked like the Pirates were going to set themselves apart from some of the top teams in the area, let's check out some of the action. Crown Point, Maryville, big-time rivalry game, but I figured Maryville's got it going now. Beat Chesterton by 20. A Chesterton team that just annihilated Andrean the other night. Outstanding Chesterton team. There's a beautiful drive to the bucket, too. Nice throw down. Here come the Pirates off the steal.
Thought I said you're going to see another throw down, but we'll have to settle for a layup on that one. Pirates running the break well on that one.
Johnny Bernard got the pass back and scored 2. Bulldogs have had trouble scoring a little bit this year.
Well, you know, they lost Stefanovic from last year, and that was a big, big player you have to replace. But, you know, Clint Swan does a great job over at Crown Point, so they're going to be competitive almost every time.
Beautiful three-pointer there. I think that scoring has been, it hasn't been defense, it's been scoring that's been the issue for the Bulldogs this year, trying to replace, actually they lost Andrew Keneally inside too, their outstanding big guy who scored a bunch of points. I'm surprised though this wasn't a higher scoring game. You thought Maryville would be trying to push it a little more, beautiful drive to the goal again there by Bernard. You'd think Maryville would be trying to go up tempo, push it a little more. They made a mistake on Saturday of allowing Munster to get ahead and then go to the free throw line.
Well, you know, sometimes the balls aren't going to drop in. The shots just aren't going to fall into the bucket, and you have to play defense to make amends for that. And it's good to see somebody nicknamed Pirates have a good week this past week.
Yeah.
Me being a Pittsburgh Pirate fan, suffering big time. But Maryville wins by 2.
And then Maryville lost to Munster on Saturday night at home in a low-scoring ball game, and the Pirates looked like they were starting to get going, but they did not. They were beaten Saturday night by the Mustangs, who had a nice close win over Michigan City earlier this week. Let's go to the highlights of some girls basketball action from the weekend. KV taking on Munster in girls basketball. KV has an outstanding record, been playing some outstanding girls basketball, and they have Catherine Cavender with a nice pass here to Maddie Swart inside for 2.
Yeah, nice play overall. And here you have Lindsay Stokes coming on into the highlight reel, and she fires one to Catherine Cavender, who scores.
Yeah, Lindsay Stokes can play some basketball. Here's the Munster. Kayla Zeal on the break, after a turnover, a rebound. Goes to the glass and lays in 2.
Then you have Munster's J.C. Helmer. She's the one wearing number 10. Finds Holly Kane. She'll get a couple of points, and Munster jumps right back in it.
Nice steal there by Munster. Here we're going to see Smart you want to call her Smart? It's Swart. Yeah, Maddie Swart for 3 more for the Lady Cougars with a K. Oh, nice runner.
Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. You know, both these teams trying to get themselves ready for next month because, as you know, tournament just around the corner.
Yeah, we saw Kaylee Zeal again. Emily Zabrecki gonna score here. Nice shot there for 2. Aubrey Toppin to Lindsay Stokes for the jumper.
And you mentioned the girl can play.
Yeah, she can. I remember her from last year. Holly came. She came and she scored 2 off the glass.
And she conquered it.
More Munster. This was a very close game, very competitive game. Off the glass for 2, Tani Boyd. And 56-50 for KV. The victory. KV will take on Andrean, who put it to the Lake Station girls.
Let me tell you something. Andrean really put the smack down on Lake Central last night, and it was like Lake Station, I'm sorry. Lake Station seemed to be kind of sleepwalking during that game, but Andrean really put the hammer down on them. So you got to give the 59ers credit.
To say that East Chicago has dominated Hammond in boys basketball, would that be an understatement?
Just a little bit. 17 in a row.
17 in a row, and this was supposed to be the year, right?
Yeah.
That Hammond got it.
Well, let's face it. Our guy made him number 1 this past week, right?
So you only lost 2 games.
Exactly. So, you know, their resume was pretty impressive, and you thought maybe, just maybe, win number 17 in a row would not take place, but East Chicago bounces back and gets the W.
Let's go to the highlights, shall we? It's been a struggle for first-year coach Marcus Jefferson at East Chicago, but they got a much-needed home victory here.
Yeah, no doubt about it, because let's face it, East Chicago fans, you know how crazy
They're not very
get.
patient.
No, they're not very patient.
Juwan
Exactly.
Jones for 3.
Oh, we'll hear about him later on, but here you have Hammond's Reggie Abram coming in for 2 points. Left hand.
Breaking some ankles.
Yep,
Crossing
exactly.
over. There you go. That's a nice move, Reggie. Here's Josh Morgan for 2.
Okay, you mentioned Juwan Jones earlier. He had a 3 the last time we saw him. What are you going to do this time, Juwan? What you got? There it is.
They didn't get the scouting report on that last one.
That was a 2, by the way, but still a good shot. No, it was a 3. I'm sorry. It was a 3.
Emmanuel Anderson off the rebound for Hammond High.
Yeah, Montel Bates of Hammond High. He's wearing number 12 for you scoring at home. He's going to get this pass. Yep, exactly. Gets the assist after the nice jumper by number 12 for Hammond High. That would be Montel Bates.
Defense is not terrible there, but
Yeah.
still not closing out. There's a fast break off a steal.
That's Bates again.
Here comes EC. Jones still showing he can shoot 3.
And nobody guarding him.
Yeah.
Anyway, Amari Young, who had a pretty good week himself, he will fire from long range. Bullseye. Amari Young hits the basket.
The zones are late getting there. Maybe that's the defensive workup because the shooting is questionable. Another corner 3. Why not? Montel Bates from downtown.
And Malik Miller says, well, I won't do a 3, but would you guys settle for 2 points here? And there it is. Nice drive to the basket by Malik.
Hammond's got some offensive talent.
Yeah.
EC, pitch corner, another 3 ball. I'd say Juwan Jones had a good night.
Yeah. He had a very good night, and it wound up with East Chicago getting a W. And that was an overtime win, by the
A
way.
much-needed victory for the Cardinals, 75-74. So this knocks Hammond High, you would think, from the top spot in the boys' poll.
Well, we'll have to find out.
We'll find out
who knows
momentarily.
what goes through the mind of a Wayne Svetnoff.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's one of the top wrestlers in the state of Indiana. Lucas Davison, state runner-up last year, undefeated this year, expected maybe to bring home a state title this year for Northwest Indiana. And T-Dub was out there catching up with Lucas Davison.
I'm just going to throw a name at you. You tell me what you think. Lucas Davison.
Lucas Davison is the third of 3 really successful wrestlers, well, 4th actually, including his father. Good kid, hard worker. I've had him in 2 classes as a teacher. I've coached him since he was probably, 5 years old. And it brings a smile to my face when you say his name and include it in Chester Wrestling.
What is so special about this kid? Is it his drive, the fact that he has talent? I mean, what's the number one reason he's so good?
He is really good at identifying his weaknesses and making a plan to solve those weaknesses and carry it out. Just like in the classroom, if he's having trouble in a class or in a subject, he doesn't just try to figure it out on his own. He gets help. He gets it done. He's dot your I and cross your T kind of kid as far as meticulous goes. And when he comes into the room, he demonstrates that same work ethic. He's a hardworking, smart kid.
Number 2 in state last year. How cool was that? And obviously, I know you want to do one better this time.
It was cool. I mean, there's no beating Bankers Life Fieldhouse, so that's really cool. It's a great environment filled with wrestling fans because I don't think there's any fan base in the world that beats the crazy wrestling fans. So that creates a really awesome environment, and it's pretty sensational down there.
What did you learn down there that can help you this time around?
Attack. Just always be on your attacks and work to score the whole match. I think I've done a better job of setting up my attacks, my feet, but at the same time, that's something I also need to work on, and also need to clean up some of my stuff on top.
I mean, when you say national title and Lucas Davison in the same sentence, what does that tell you?
Currently, it reminds me of a goal that's still unaccomplished and something that I still have to achieve, so it's motivating, but yeah, I'm ready to get that knocked out this summer.
I asked him this question. I'll ask you too. Second in state last year. What does he have to do to be number 1 this year?
He has to show up and make weight.
That's a confident coach, I think.
Can you blame him? I mean, I'm not the biggest wrestling fan, okay? And thanks to our production staff for making me sound like I am. But if you ever met the Davison kid, if I were his opponent, I'd pull out the white flag ASAP. I mean, 195, only one loss last year, unbeaten as you mentioned this year. And the kid he's an intelligent kid. He's going to Northwestern.
Yeah.
I mean, he might be the best athlete we have in Northwest Indiana, counting all sports.
Yeah, he's outstanding interview.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, yeah, just like his brother last year.
Yeah, media guy's dream there.
Exactly.
Putting a lot of intelligent sentences together.
One of us had to. But go ahead.
Time for our Throwback Thursday on the Prep Sports Report. The Wayback Machine. We're going back to 2004. LC in Portage. I think we're going to see Brett Summers. He was having a great night. How long ago is this footage? Wayne was teaching. I think Brett Summers had Wayne in class. Mm-hmm. That's how old this is. It's still in color, though.
And no Pete Sparrow basket then. Okay,
No.
I got it.
No. Oh, that's a beautiful stroke there.
Yeah.
Knocking down the jumper for Portage. LC in Portage back in 2004. Boy, I wish I could remember that lefty's hand because that one's escaping me, but he was a heck of a player for Portage. Nice hop step. Quarter jumper there for LC.
And didn't Brett Summers play baseball and had a great season?
Oh,
Won
yeah,
a
he
state
sure did.
championship
Sure
too?
did. He was an
Yeah.
outstanding pitcher.
Exactly.
But Lake Central went on to win that game 66-42. Yeah, that's one of the cool things that we had during football season.
Yeah.
Is we would throw they throw the highlights on there, and when they put the show or they put them on our Facebook page, all the guys that are out of school that played in these games, they'd be like reconnecting with their buddies on Facebook, talking war stories
Oh, there you go.
of old games. That's 13 years ago now.
Exactly.
Already
It's
back
hard to
in
believe. Brett Summers 13 years
Yeah.
out.
It
We're
sure
getting
is.
old here.
Yeah, it is. One of the things we forgot to mention or didn't get to last week, T-Dub, was a couple of boys' teams already lost their coaches tragically this year. I know you were a big fan of Marvin Ray, formerly of Bowman and of Lighthouse, tragically killed in a car accident earlier this year. So our best wishes out to their team over at Lighthouse, and of course the Bowman kids that are still there and family that was still at Bowman High School, Marvin's friends and family, and then of course Robert Hall.
Yeah.
Lost his battle with cancer not too long ago. When all-around great guy for Morton, was their head coach, had been their assistant coach, JV coach. He was just a Morton guy, and I know they love him, and the students miss him as well. They had a big win over East Chicago after he passed.
The night after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So something we needed to talk about last week. Didn't get to it, unfortunately, but condolences to those schools and those players who have had to deal with a lot of adversity already this year.
Yeah.
All right, let's check out our girls and boys polls, shall we? Girls Little 5, the PCC tournament delayed on the girls' side for 2 nights. But they're going to get after it. The finals are moved to Monday now with the girls and the boys. Morgan Township, number 1 in the Little 5 girls, followed by Knoll, Lacrosse. Lighthouse, I don't know. We're going to have to look into that one, if they played a tough schedule or not, because they might be better than that number 4 in the Little 5.
And they had a tough night last night, though. Really
Yes,
tough
they
night.
did.
And I love Lighthouse, obviously. Coach Tommy Smith, one of my buddies, but they had a tough night last night, so let's keep them at 4 for right now.
All right. How about the boys' Little 5? LaVille, still 12-0. Morgan. Covenant Christian, what a story they are. 13-1. There's actually 2 Covenant Christians in the state of Indiana.
Really?
But that's our Covenant Christian.
We got the
locally.
better one, right?
That's over
There you go.
Over there in DeMott area there. Lake Station, 9-4. And River, 8-5 on the boys' side in the Little 5.
Now, here's the thing. I'm a big Lake Station fan, right? I think River Forest beat Lake Station.
They did the other night.
And I'm sure they're yelling at their TV screens going,
Right.
Wayne, how did you rank Lake Station ahead of River Forest? What's up with that?
Wayne might still be heavily medicated. Hoping that he's okay. We're going to let him skate on that one. The girls' top 10. Valpo, 11-8. They got LC tomorrow night. Munster playing some good basketball despite the loss to KV. The Lady Jays, 14-2. Boone Grove, 17-2. One of our PSR fans from lacrosse said, hey, I've seen them both. North Judson's better than Boone Grove girls.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
that's our scoop from one of our fans out there. The side at number 6, KV, we saw highlights of them in their win over Munster. We saw Lake Central. Chesterton, 17-2, but still not tied for first place in the DAC. It's LaPorte and Lake Central.
Shows how tough the DAC is this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure is. And the number 1 girls team, Marquette Catholic, 14-2, on a roll on the girls' number 1 poll. Okay, how about the boys' top 10? There it is, Hanover Central.
We might have to visit them eventually because they're off to their great start.
I think so. And Coach Klaus is a great guy.
Yeah, Coach Klaus, don't be surprised if you get a phone call soon.
Oh, yeah. Washington Township might have to go there, too. 10-0. Trying to pressure on them tonight, T-Dub. They're playing tonight as we speak. Have never, ever won the PCC tournament. A lot of pressure on those guys
Oh, yeah.
the next few days.
That would be the ultimate cherry on top of what
because
their
they
record.
are the favorite
Yeah.
going into this year's Porter County Conference tournament at Hebron, and good luck to them. You saw Andrean 8, 21C. Maryville, I'm still scratching my head over them. They beat Chesterton by 20, and Chesterton, number 1 now in the poll.
You think the peer group pressure of listening to this show might have swayed Wayne Sweating off?
Maybe. Chesterton, Crown Point, girls, boys doubleheader tomorrow night.
Uh-huh.
So those are always good for the TV people because then you get highlights of 2 games in one place.
There you go.
And those
Way
are
to
2
go,
good
guys.
games. Chesterton, Crown Point girls.
Exactly.
And boys tomorrow night. How about some players of the week, T-Dub? Amari Young, Hammond, getting it done.
Amari had himself a pretty good week. As a matter of fact, in that East Chicago loss, he still put up 25 points. So, pretty good week for this young man.
And Jake Dye, one of the reasons Griffith's playing better basketball.
Yeah.
They're starting to get it rolling. He had 19 against Hanover Central as they beat the Wildcats.
And again, Hanover Central, no pushover, so way to go, Jake.
Girls players of the week, Riley Ott, 25 in the big win over Chesterton.
You know, I'm going to have to come up with an all-name team for girls and boys basketball.
Yeah,
Riley Ott. That's
Yeah.
got to be right up there, no doubt.
You like the former Pittsburgh flavor with that.
Exactly. And
Sophia Nolan, 24 points for Marquette Catholic in their win over Knoll. And Emily Balazar of Whiting with 20 against Wheeler. Unknown players of the week. Wow, I never heard of him. Hitel Isa of Griffin, 13.
Another namer.
Yeah, Josh Davis of Munster, 17 against Maryville. The unknown girls player. Well, Maria Naninga of Covenant Christian, 22 in the game against Heritage Christian. All right, those are players of the week. It's time for Wayne's World. Time for Wayne's picks on the Prep Sports Report. Don't forget to hit our Facebook page for the rest of the picks. We got some of the top games here. And that girls-boys doubleheader, Chesterton and Crown Point, should be very competitive. 52-48, says Wayne. LC, he likes LC over Valpo.
And no argument on that one. And I'll tell you what, Chesterton having themselves a great basketball season, boys and girls-wise. Not bad at all.
Yeah, he was trying to bait me into picking Michigan City, but I like LaPorte girls over Michigan City as well. On that girls pick. Come on. That's, LaPorte's playing some awfully good girls basketball. Ooh, he picked Knox over North Judson. I guess I'm just seeing that here. And I'm going to take North Judson, not knowing much about Knox in that one on the girls' side. Come on, I think he was baiting me there again. I didn't realize it.
Yeah, I like
I'll go
choice
to
you
Lady
made.
J's over Knox, definitely. All right, the boys' picks. 21C, no doubt, over Lighthouse, 58-50, big ball game tomorrow night. I like Valpo, over LC.
Yeah.
Elsewhere, Highland over Andrean. Gotta agree with that one. After Lay Andrean was beat by Chesterton the other night.
Yeah, exactly. And that Hanover Central Lake Station game, I'm going to start a practice here. I'm not going to make predictions on Lake Station because I work for them.
All righty then.
I'm backing off on that one, but Hanover Central's a heck of a basketball team this year. That's going to be a tough game for the Eagles.
Wayne's on the DL, and he was 15-10.
Not bad. Consider
really.
the medication.
Kind of bad.
Yeah,
Kind
not
of
a
bad, 15-10.
Well, that's right, 15-10, yeah. I'm thinking about my record,
Yeah,
which was the exact
15-10,
opposite.
not that great.
Not that great. And we disagreed on a lot of his picks, did we?
Well, you know, he picked a lot of the favorites. There was a lot of upsets last week.
Yeah, exactly.
At least what it comes down to. There were a lot of upsets last
There
week.
you go. I feel better already.
All right, we'll see you next Thursday night for another edition of the Prep Sports Report. Good night.
Program support comes from NIPSCO.
Honey, who is this guy?
Oh, that's Frank. Hey, Frank.
Honey, why is Frank in our bedroom?
He's showing us ways to save money. Plus, he'll even help us install LED bulbs and new shower heads.
Oh, well, he is leaving before I shower, though, right?
To schedule an energy assessment and learn more about energy usage, visit nipsco.com.
Frank, could you hand me a towel?